Money Vikings, welcome back to the channel. Money Viking G here. Thanks for joining. I want to do a special one for you on the concept of scarcity with when it comes to Bitcoin. And the reason I want to talk about it is I think it's a misunderstood concept when you hear the criticisms of Bitcoin. And I'll play a couple videos from some of my favorite sort of commentators on these topics here. But the main message I want to put out there is this. Every asset is valued based on supply and demand. And so the critical thing about Bitcoin is that its supply is absolutely fixed. And that is unparalleled in the history of assets. Real estate, for example, it's hard to put more supply on the market, as we know, but it happens, and it can happen. And when there's more of a will and more of an energy into it, it can happen more rapidly. Of course, there's a lot of restrictions to that, like zoning and local laws, and the fact that it's hard to build new land, although new land is built over time, at times. So, you know, houses are $1 million plus in many desirable places to live because there are not enough of them. And so I want to connect the dots here to a direct parallel to Bitcoin, where there is not going to be enough of it. So you'll say, yeah, but that's a tangible example. Okay, that's fine. And it's kind of like gold as well. That's a tangible rock. One thing is wood and stucco and stone and drywall and paint. The other thing is a rock. And then you're talking about a digital asset. I would argue, though, that we already live in this world of investing. What is your 401k besides blips on a screen? And the number of shares outstanding is the supply. There's only so many shares. There's a reason that a Berkshire Class A share, I don't know what the value is at the moment, maybe $200,000 a share, $250,000, I don't know what it is, something like that, hundreds of thousands of dollars for one share. The reason is they don't make anymore. They just have one, they have a set number, and they never made more shares. They did do a Class B share where they have more of them. But anyway, besides the point. So that's stocks, right? And then you have dollars, another store of value, debt, another place where people put their wealth in dollars. We count a lot of our wealth in dollars. Well, as we know, more dollars can be supplied, right? Which then brings down the pressure and the value of that dollar. Okay? So just want to throw that out there. Let's watch a little bit of Money Rules here.
38 billion Satoshis. Some people got it, but other people are like, how much Bitcoin is that? And that's where we're kind of, the direction that we're actually moving into. A lot of the news tends to, at least recently, be focused on very specific things. So we will hear about the ETFs accumulating. We'll hear about MicroStrategy accumulating, or like kind of along that thing, but we forget at the same exact time that there's countries accumulating, normal people buying up tons of Bitcoin and mining it as well. This is kind of like a blast from the past, but not really, because it's happening right now. It's a company who announced years ago that they were also going to get into crypto, not only crypto, but going to get into Bitcoin as well, which I also think is very fascinating because people had a really big problem with that. Do you remember, I want to say 4 years ago, the CEO of Ripple came forward on the news and he announced that he actually likes Bitcoin, and people were like, what? You can't like...
So this is an interesting commentary. So basically the first part of what he's talking about is that there are a growing number of entities and individuals that are now vacuuming up Bitcoin and scooping it up. And again, remember, there's all this demand out there, and there's only so much right here. No one can ever print more. So that's the key factor that has to be kept in mind. Let's watch a little bit of George over here at Cryptos R Us. Let's see a little bit about what he has to say today.
We know that, hey, the U.S. is on track to become the global powerhouse for crypto. At least that's the plan. Hasn't happened yet, but you have a whole lot of stuff happening. And here's an interesting stat.
So I don't make predictions, but we are at the time of this recording 10 days out from inauguration day to a new administration that's clearly crypto and Bitcoin friendly heavily. Is that baked into the price yet? I don't think so. Because if an executive order comes out and then you have legislation proposed, et cetera, there's going to be a forward push and momentum in terms of price.
Recent analysis revealed that 65% of Bitcoin is held by US entities, while the remaining smaller shares held by non-US entities. A large part of that is due to the ETFs and Michael Saylor, who also holds close to 2.5% of the supply, and many others. But that's a staggering stat. 65% of Bitcoin is being held by companies or individuals within the US. And that number could be growing more as more favorable, regulation.
So as more favorable regulation comes in, what he's saying, and then as if the United States establishes some kind or some form of a Bitcoin reserve, that is going to totally juice demand around the globe. And it's going to give it more legitimacy. It's just like how the dollar is the reserve asset for most wealth in the world, because other currencies are so unstable or tend to decline in value so much faster.
And rules get in place this year. We have this new crypto czar, David Sachs, that's going to be in the White House. But other than that, we got a whole lot of new, like I just talked about Gary Gensler, he's going to be gone, replaced with someone more pro. I mean, you got a whole lot of new leaders coming in this year and potentially, again, helping crypto. And David Sachs is set to talk to 24 industry leaders, right? It's hard to ignore now. I mean, just look at what Zuck is doing. Look at what Facebook.
So we're gonna leave you with this. So the bottom line is that the tide has turned, obviously, and it's a very different day is going to arrive. And I think it may be shocking to folks about how quickly the tide turns in terms of crypto and Bitcoin. So anyway, I'm going to continue to dollar cost average and make it a part of an overall established and well-diversified portfolio of various assets. And thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Like and subscribe, all that great stuff. Please share and take care. Thank you very much.